Curveballs are set to continually negative, with the negative effects hitting harder than an unwanted pregnancy. The difficulty as always is set to lethal, but this time we won't be using any boons. We'll be playing in the stunning Providence Ridge, and we'll be using the first random characters we roll. So please welcome Daniel, Karina, and Warburton. Daniel loves to knit, Karina is an artiste, darling, and Warburton likes to fix all bangers and that, innit bruv? But most importantly, he has an incredible immune system that'll definitely be useful. Together, working as a team, they managed to claim the starter base without a blood feral ripping out their intestines. And for Karina's first task, she has to get the car up and running, leave it to the painter while the mechanic sits on his arse, probably scratching his bollocks. But before we get to the petrol station, I decided to just randomly search the back of this car. What's the fucking chance of that then, boys? That is mental. Technically, it's not needed right away, but if you've ever seen my driving, you'll know it probably very much is. In the petrol station, I get an energy drink, a sack of fuel, and a fuel can. But on the way back to the car, disaster starts to brew. No! You son of a bitch! It dies screaming. But unfortunately, that alerted everybody's least favourite crackhead. I drop off the sack in the car and even managed to figure out a way of refueling it from the top. Oh, you bastard. Well, they do say second time's the charm. Originally, I was planning on jumping in the car and using it to deal with the feral, but not wanting to sacrifice the engine, I decided to go toe-to-toe. I've obviously got no guns, just this little hatchet, and he's got an armoured head, and sadly just a pack of quavers to keep my lungs working. I hit him with the old butt and bash while he's in front of me tactic. After a dodge or two, I hit him again, but not wanting to waste that energy drink, I'm still relying on my snacks. I then remove the armour with the next swing of my hatchet, and after dodging another wild charge, one more hit sends him to Davy Jones. Although technically we're not near the ocean, but you know what I mean. With the car up and running, next up we got a scavenger site for materials. Firstly, I get a food resource at this fruit stand, then some building materials at this red warehouse. But first I gotta deal with its inhabitants. Luckily, I also find a can of fuel, which was very much needed for what's coming. Oh yes, I'm teasing content you've already chosen to watch. What a desperate prick. I drop everything off, start construction of the workshop, then get swamped by a wandering horde, which my friends very much refuse to help with. Yeah, don't mind me boys, just hanging on for dear life like. But once Karina has very much single-handedly dealt with the threat, I swap to Warburton as Karina has earned a good rest. But I'm unable to craft any plague cures at the moment because I haven't got any plague samples. To get plague samples, I'm gonna need to take on a plague cart, and in order to do that I'm gonna need some better weapons. So I set my sights on a military outpost just down the road. I have just enough influence to claim it as an outpost, then get a decent sidearm with plenty of ammo, flash grenades, an ammo resource, but most importantly a heavy weapon. That means I'm finally ready to take on our first plague cart. But first I decide to search the shed next door, mainly looking for building materials. Unfortunately, the first thing I find is a bunch of flesh-eating knobheads just wanting to digest my outer layers. But hey, at least I can get some chems and building mats. Then with no immediate threat, I'm safe to claim the first phase of the plague cart, kill anything and everything that then comes at me, before defeating the second phase of the plague cart. I then drag all the hordes outside with the sickest of burns, before heading back inside and finishing the job for good. Then once I've collected some incredible early game loot, I deliver 2 samples to strangers, then it's time to collect more supplies while we wait for curveballs to start spawning. I get a food resource as well as a food outpost, collect meds from this urgent care, then finally a building sack from the shed. And that's when we get our first of so many curveballs. Ransacker's Post. Basically, we've stopped getting daily fuel and materials, which is fine as we weren't getting any anyway, and to stop the disruptions, we're gonna have to take them out. Well, let's have a look with the oh, for crying out loud, the other side of the map, like. Well, that's alright, it's a good thing I've collected plenty of fuel. Bangernomics. My nemesis. Fuel consumption is heavily increased, it's going to take ages to start the vehicles, and we have the stopping power of Ted Bundy in a sorority. Mix that with the fact night has fallen like Biden in a care home, we're going to be in for a tough time. You might be thinking, you can't take the piss out of the President of the United States. Well, don't worry, I'll make a joke about that other geriatric you have running later in the video. On the way to the ransackers, I've got to pull over as fuel is dropping quicker than I first expected, but luckily I'm able to find an extra can in the shed. I obviously brought a can with me, but trust me, I'm gonna need more than you'd ever expect. For example, when I get into Sawyer's Crossing, my fuel is back in the danger zone. I park it up a fair distance away from the knobheads, then run past, lobbing a firecracker through their window. I then hope to take cover on the shipping container if the angles allow it. There we go. Oh shit in hell. Yep, okay, yeah, they can definitely get an angle on me. Definitely get an angle on me. Looks like Warburton can shake off headshots, and he didn't even need to turn his head. What a man, doesn't even make a fuss about it. Just cracking on with the job at hand, which right now is dropping a second firework in this building. This time I take cover behind a much better suited object while the horde start to devour the baddies, and while they're busy munching away, I decide to climb a tall ass ladder. baby. You see, my original plan was to deal with the ransackers and making the most of my fuel, take on a plague cart or two down here, and hopefully set up an outpost as a sort of secondary base away from home, but as you're about to see, that didn't go to plan. On the way back to the ransackers, I loot more fuel from the big old fuel tank. Then while I'm attempting to drop everything off at my car, I've got to dodge shots from the hostiles. But hey, at least it's not for my own fan base. That would be really embarrassing. Then before I re-engage combat, I make sure to fill up the car, and from the site of our earlier fail, I claim our first victim, which goes well. Oh shit, yep.
It's a juggernaut.
Oh, juggernaut you say? A juggernaut is an ideal freak to deal with our problems, being able to deliver a killer blow as well as being able to take more hits than a rapper's girlfriend. Now you might think of this as cowardice, but I see it as tactical genius. By hiding in the shed nearby, the hostiles are drawn out into the open where the juggernaut and other plague Zeds can rip them to pieces. And on the off chance the hostiles make it through the army of the dead, I corner camp with an automatic assault rifle. Win-win. This way I can eliminate all but one of the ransackers, but that means with no fresh meat easily accessible, the dead turn on me, and the following fight results in my axe taking too much damage.
That's not good.
Luckily I'm able to get a big old shovel off one of the corpses. With a moment's respite I manage to grab some more building materials and some more fuel, but I can't leave yet as there's still one hostile remaining. Unfortunately both my car and pockets are full to the brim, and with plenty of the dead around I don't have time to sort through what's important, so just drop a load of shit on the floor. Littering is disgusting, should be ashamed of yourself boy. Then it's time to deal with the hostile, who apparently is faking illness to draw me into a false sense of security, but even so, you can't survive these hands. I get another assault rifle and flash grenades from her friend's corpse, and smoke grenades from hers. And that's where everything goes horribly. A feral starts to chase me down as a screamer fills my ears. I take out the screamer and await the feral's charge, but it doesn't come. Thinking this is my chance to escape, I run back towards my car. Oh shit, there's a bloater! Oh my god, that is terrible. So I climb onto the big old fuel tank to take refuge, then attempt to deal with the feral from safety. Oh, not like that, not like that, not like that. Not only do I come out of that interaction with my life, but without taking any damage. Well, additional damage, that is. You know what, now is time to get the hell out of here. I even have chance to grab the fuel and plague samples, but there's one thing I've forgotten about. Oh shit, I forgot about Bangonomics! The Juggernaut's charge prevents the feral from ripping me out of the car and most likely saved my life. That was too close to call. I think it's fair to say we gotta get back to base to give Warburton a rest. Although I do need to make a pit stop to refill fuel because, you know, Bangonomics. Then with no further issues we get back to base, even if it did cost us an entire fuel can. Then before checking into the infirmary I speak to Daniel, who seems to be coming down with an illness. That's the under the weather curveball. With terrible firearm handling, lower efficiency from first aid, and fatigue will occur much quicker, we'll need 3 sacks of medical supplies to fix it. I also need more building materials to upgrade our infirmary to level 2, as someone thought it would be a good idea to upgrade the workshop first so we could craft mollies. Well now nobody is recovering health passively, so we need to get the move on as Daniel is our last character who hasn't taken damage. So first I head to this area, collecting 2 building materials from 2 different sheds, while also collecting plenty of fuel for myself. That's enough to upgrade the infirmary, so in 16 minutes we'll be finally healing passively. I then drop off some food to the guys we helped out earlier, and with them now allied I can start selling all the shite I've been collecting so far. I even managed to pick up our first of 3 medical supplies. I still need 2 more to get rid of it, but luckily I have the perfect place in mind. But first I obviously ran out of fuel thanks to... But that actually worked out quite well as I stopped right next to a public bathroom where I pick up a second sack of meds. But the actual destination I had in mind was this medical centre right next to a pharmacy, although there appears to be a plague cart in the way. But with the 2 smoke bombs I pinched from a corpse earlier, and now being able to craft mollies, this is gonna be a cakewalk. I complete the first phase under the cover of smoke, but I'm not quick enough to escape the gas cloud that follows, so I avenge my lung capacity with a Molotov. Then using up my second smoke I complete the second phase, although in hindsight I should have saved that for the final phase as the second always comes quicker. They do say art imitates life at the end of the day. Climbing onto a horse box to regain stamina, I get an angle to toss a molly through an open window to burn up the undead, before taking a well-deserved victory over the plague cart. Immediately taking the first aid kit from the heart sorts out the lung capacity, but as the car is full I can't just quickly drop off my supplies. You son of a bitch. So I burn everything and anything before I'm able to sort out the infantry issues. I also free up a space by using a toolkit, which if you think about it should stop. But sadly it doesn't, so just gotta crack on I guess. Unfortunately my cracking on means I've gotta deal with an infesting horde, which certainly didn't go as well as I planned. Oh you bastard, you absolute twat! And me being present and fighting them off still couldn't prevent the infestation from forming. How's that infestation there? I killed the fucking screamer. Well, you know what they say, don't use a shovel to complete a Molotov's job. I don't exactly know who says that, but I'm making it my new motto. Need to plant some daffodils in the garden? Don't worry about the shovel, grab a volatile incendiary device. Sadly, that's not the only horde I've got to worry about. Well, I've used up all of my stuff, so I got plenty of— Oh my god, where the fucking hell are you coming from? I try fighting them off, but a juggernaut is unfortunately part of the horde. So we gotta move quick. I certainly can't fight it with my current loadout, and I'm not leaving this place without a sack of meds. Let's hope we don't get any issues with— Unfortunately, I can't grab the meds quick enough and the hordes overwhelm me, so I've gotta retreat. I actually managed to lose them by looping around the building, but there's a second brand new curveball on the horizon. Wind is picking up from a chemical— Oh, of all the times to get that. You can always tell when shit is desperate when I'm using the crouch button. Then as I creep back into the medical center, our next curveball takes full effect. Smokestorm. An explosion at a chemical plant 6 miles away has brought a thick plume of smoke, massively reducing our visibility. Stamina will drain faster, radio support is unavailable, and we'll probably end up getting lung cancer if we don't get torn apart by a juggernaut. But perhaps the lack of visibility is helping to keep us covered. Seeing as the horde has now wandered off, I'm safe to search the pharmacy and collect ourselves some medical supplies. But I know the juggernaut is out there in the smoke, his breath is heavy and the ground shakes with every undead footstep. I creep my way back outside, still unable to see the foul beast, but I see my gap and it's time to take it. Unfortunately, it's not as quick as I'd have liked because— while still not knowing exactly where the juggernaut is, I managed to escape, although it's terrifying. Not knowing what's more than 6 feet ahead of you, a rogue bloater right now would spell disaster. Using nothing more than the mini-map and the lines on the road, I get to my next destination, a set of fuel pumps next to Rusty Rosie's diner. Yes, while also not being able to see shit, I'm also having to micromanage my fuel supply. Luckily, there's plenty to be had here. The journey back to base was insane. Over 1,000 meters of the unknown. Could the next corner spell disaster? One bump in the road could mean we die a horrible and agonizing death. But by some miracle, we get back with no incident. And after we've dropped off all of our supplies, we can finally get rid of the under the weather curveball. Taking back over is Karina, who hasn't had a chance to fully heal. I head off in search for more building materials. Being very, very careful, of course. I'll save you from watching the 5 minutes of literally watching a blind man drive, but when I get to my destination, it's already been populated by an enclave. But I'm still able to pick up building supplies, meds, and even some more Molotovs. And as I'm leaving, the smoke finally clears up. Unfortunately, I can't say the same for— which is especially a problem as next up we get to start the brand new mission arc that's just been added, a plea for help. And that plea for help has absolutely nothing to do with them setting a base right next to a placard. One of their friends is gravely injured and is in desperate need for a blood transfusion, so they ask if I'd be willing to collect the supplies they need from the ruined garage. I'll go and get the equipment you need. Right, where's it gonna be? Oh, Jesus Christ, Oh yes, we're gonna have to travel to the other side of the map to save a stranger, all while suffering from the effects of— Is that effect get old yet? Because I'll tell you, it's not bloody annoying as— Okay, fine, I'll stop now. It's a nearly 2,000 meter trip where I have to plan my journey around potential looting spawns for petrol. And who'd have guessed the best place to get petrol is a petrol station. Luckily, I'm able to collect enough for the journey south, but potentially not enough for the way back. And I know what you might be thinking, why not take the river south to try and save some petrol? Well, unfortunately, that's not going to work as water now slows you down. But to be fair, I quite like that addition. It adds to the realism and is also less affected on vehicles that are taller. I arrive at the ruined garage, smack about a Z05 before collecting a sanitizing machine and more fuel. I do have to fill up again on my way back north, which is a bit nerve-wracking with a horde closing in, but ultimately we get back and give him the sanitizing machine, saving the bloke's life. This new enclave arc is apparently 6 or 7 missions long, and don't worry, we'll be doing more of whatever they ask in a future episode. But seeing as we're here and we have strangers watching our back, I decide to take on the placard next door, and you'll be glad to know as I start smacking the sack, Bangernomics comes to an end. We take out the plague out without too many issues, while also making sure to collect all of his juicy loot before heading back to base to give Karina a rest. Taking over as Warburton, his mission is to deal with a second ransacker's post that this time is preventing a daily resource of ammo and materials. They're on the west side of the map while the game is lying to me about their population. Unfortunately, I'm not exactly rich in murder resources right now, and with a large portion of the map overtaken by strange mutations and thick-skinned, I don't exactly want to go wandering into dangerous territory. But hey, what's a man supposed to do when strangers take over a part of the map he hasn't even visited yet? That's right, straight to 3rd degree. I arrive near their base site and decide to explore a little bit to see if there's any hungry juggernauts about, but unfortunately they must be hibernating. I pull up out front of their excuse for a base. Nice, holy shit, there's not a lot of cover around here, but there is also a plague cart here, and my initial plan is to take it on and let the Zeds get distracted by the hostiles or get taken out by their gunfire. But pretty quickly I realised that wasn't going to work, as I'm also in range of their gunfire. Oh god, and there's literally no way to get close to them. Oh god damn it, yep, that's not good. That's not good, not good at all. Even when I turn my attention to the plague cart, I'm still catching strays. And as I very quickly run out of pain relief, I've got to adjust the strategy, which also doesn't go to plan. Oh god, they've shot off my door? I didn't even know that was a thing. And no matter what I do, the zombies are more interested in me. And with their high-powered weapons, they can easily deal with anything that does get attracted to them. This could have gone better. I think we can all agree with that. So I go back to trying to shoot them from range. And well, that could have gone better as well. Oh god, nope, that's not good. Now my health is so low, I'm not able to sprint. So I make for a risky play. By letting a zombie down me, I can butt and bash as I cling on to life and recover just enough health to be able to make me move with pace. There we go. It kind of worked a little bit, I think. But now I think I've definitely overstayed my welcome. And with the car having taken as much damage as me, it's time to retreat. But don't worry, their days are numbered. And seeing as I'm over this side of the map, I decide to scope it out a bit by climbing another tall ladder, baby. And seeing as I'm gonna wanna move to the west and build a supply base eventually, I might as well clear out a plague cart while I'm in the area. Yes, I realise that's dumb, I've got about 6 HP left. But I can't just jump in the car and go, as there are zombies present and they'll just rip me out. So I climb onto a nearby lorry, but then a feral arrives and I fall off, so all the plans go out the window, just fucking leg it. But amazingly I managed to get away without the car bursting into flames. Win-win.
Falling apart.
Oh, you fucking donkey. That's not good at all. Why are you not out the car yet, dude? Not only are we miles away from a repair garage, I didn't have a toolkit to bring with me, so I decided to play it recklessly, high risk, high reward. And while there's only a small chance, I could potentially get a toolkit as a reward for taking out the play card, so I commit to that idea. I complete the first phase, then drop a molly, while heading out the front and closing the door behind me, so when I loop back around, all the Zeds inside have burnt up. I complete the second phase in the same way, and as I'm exiting, once again drop a molly. But now there's a feral present, I put all of my 7.62 rounds into the heart from the roof of the car, but when that doesn't get the kill, I use my sidearm to deal with the feral and finish the heart with a shovel. Now I just need to loot it, so attempt to lure the undead out of the building. But just when you don't want them, they appear. Run, Jesus Christ, son. But as I loop back towards the dead heart, a mysterious stranger appears at the house. And once I've done my neighbourly duties to assist them with their plight, I realise they want to join the team. But before I can say yes, they get drawn into a fight outside. Oh no, don't go out there. I managed to agree for them to join, then amazingly get a toolkit from the play cart. And with our new recruits keeping the Juggernaut and other Zeds busy, I'm able to repair and refuel the car. However, that leads to one of our newbies contracting blood plague. So once I've driven them a little down the road, I pull over where I think it's safe. But nowhere is safe in lethal zone. Oh god damn it! Oh no! In order to get everyone out alive, I've got to start blasting with my unsuppressed pistol, which means more and more of the undead get drawn out to our location. That is terrible. Evelyn's about to die. Quickly, my plan changes from life-saving to damage control. I think Evelyn's dead. No, she's okay. She's okay. Get back here. Get back here. Evelyn! But unfortunately I'm out of mollies and Evelyn is out of time. And as more and more of the undead flock to us, Warburton gets demanded.
Drop the screamer, now!
Yeah, of all the things right now, look, mate, that's not my fucking least concerns. I'm trying to save your bloody missus. But with nearly no ammo left, there's only one thing I can do to get out of this. Mow everyone, including Evelyn, down with the car. Amazingly though, it actually worked. Just let me speak to you. Stay here, you fucking moron. She got less than 2 minutes. Give cure. Honest to fucking God. And after all that, it turns out her traits are less than desirable. Should have checked beforehand. And our other newbie is a fan of Japanese flower arranging, so maybe this wasn't the win I was expecting. Either way, I take the new guys back to base, and with everyone appropriately checked into the infirmary, I take over as Karina, who heads back to the location we just left. But first I pay a visit to our friends to sell them some high value shite, and that's where I fuck up by accidentally selling them all of our plague cures. And seeing as they're then demanding double the price, oh shit, I just sold my plague cure! You fucking dozy bastard! I simply can't justify the cost as we need a new home. And sadly I don't have enough samples to craft any more cure, so there's simply nothing more to do other than crack on. Although on the way to the play cart we get a message from the brand new enclave that was added with update 37. And I'm obviously gonna drop everything to help out some blood transfusionists. This time a member of their team has gone missing, and she has a really valuable blood type, so it's crucial the Zeds don't consume it all. Christ alive, these guys need to be more careful. I recommend they recruit some basic bitch cannon fodder to do all the dangerous missions. What's even more crazy, I find her in a locked shed, but she's completely fine, other than the half a dozen dead around her of course. So I give her a lift back to base, and she gives me a brand new t-shirt, which I can't find in the wardrobe. So ignoring that minor detail, it's back to assaulting that play cart. It's in a petrol station and I've got next to no ammo, so I'm doing this the old fashioned way. Then I immediately get bitten, and have I mentioned I've got no plague cure left? But I managed to complete the first phase without becoming a member of the Walking Dead and drop a box mine as I exit. But I have trouble getting it to go boom. Is that mine going to need to be tripped by an actual zombie? Well, it's fair to say I find that out the hard way. Holy shit! Well, there we go. We got it done. I don't bother looting it for now as we have bigger fish to fry, like claiming ourselves a lovely new home. I can't rip down the Cleo drop without an additional 2 labour, so I crack on with building a workshop and an infirmary. Then using our newbie Evelyn, we head to loot that play cart, and we get some decent rewards in the process. But in order to maximise our base's potential, I'm really going to need to start earning some more building materials. And the best spot for building materials just so happens to be right next to... So it's time to kick some names and take some asses, or something to that effect. But with no high caliber ammo, I'm gonna need to think outside of the box. Look, feral. Ooh, look, they shoot at you. Why you fucking come after me for? Look, you got easy meat there. The feral plan goes nowhere, so in desperation I try vehicular manslaughter. And as funny as that was, it's really not effective at all. So I decide to drag someone else into our tirade. She has literally no idea she's going to be used as target practice to allow me to sneak in undetected. Although she might not be necessary, as there's now a horde fight in the raiders. Them being distracted gives me the opportunity to run in and stun everyone with a flashbang and drop those that aren't already downed. And then I can climb to safety and watch the chaos unfold. There is something so satisfying about watching hostiles get torn apart by the undead. That's why I love blood ferals, you know? Everyone always says that blood ferals aren't good, but ferals are, they're friends, really. And using that new friendship, I sit back and watch the rest of the raiders get eviscerated by the undead. Although once they're all dead, Evelyn gets a bit arrogant.
I knew a sensible plan would be the way to go.
Oh yeah, I've never seen a more sensible plan. Oh shit. With me being completely out of ammo, there's only one way to escape this feral with my kidneys. And surprisingly, a pipe bomb simply wasn't it. Even with no armour, it survived a shrapnel blast to the head. What the bloody hell am I doing? It's clear to me now that feral should be the most dominant species on Earth. Okay, now we're in trouble. Now it's all about surviving. As if by some miracle, the feral stops pursuing me, and I managed to escape in the car with 4 minutes left on Evelyn's life. I mean, it'd be very bad if the car would set on fire right now, wouldn't it? Oh, fuck off. Honest to God, I haven't even got a toolkit. Luckily, I'm close enough to base that it doesn't really matter. I can use the infirmary to craft a single cure to save Evelyn, but we're now back to square one, not having enough samples to craft anymore. Taking control of Daniel, I call a roadside assistance supply drop, thanks to the benefit our friends are supplying. That grants me 2 toolkits and 2 fuel cans, which means I can fix up the car and start looting the local area. I'm lucky enough to get 2 sacks of building materials from Dewey's Hardware, as well as getting a food supply from both the ice cream shop and the swine and bovine. And with that, I'm halfway to being able to afford the upgrading of the command center. Next up, I pay a visit to a wandering trader on the edge of the map, and he specializes in the sale of firearms. And by selling him things I have no intention on using, I pick up 4 sacks of ammo as well as a handgun ammo press. But still needing building materials, it's time to head back towards the area with the unfinished houses. Luckily, the feral is no longer here, but what's important is the corpses of the raiders are still here, so I can pick up some invaluable firepower. Well, not that exactly. I get a couple of shotguns, smoke bombs, even more flash grenades, and even a 22 caliber rifle. Which means once I've taken out the undead in the area, I'm ready to finish off this play cart. Oh, you that right? Oh god, yes I did. Okay, well that didn't go according to plan, but at least the crackhead has been dealt with. With the undead hot on my tails, I managed to complete the first phase before dropping a fuel bomb to torch the undead. Then once they're all burnt up, I can drop one of the smoke grenades, and something must have gone wrong somewhere, as a few more swings with the shovel and we get the job done. But hey, it's not all good news. No! You fucking stupid fucking moron! But I can't go anywhere without at least getting the samples from the heart, as we don't have enough to craft a cure. I open up the husk and bash A until my pockets are full. I guess we'll have to pop back later for the rest of the stuff. And with just 4.5 minutes to save our guy's life, I take a detour and get lost in the pissing woods. What an absolute twat. But even so, we get back with plenty of time, and after a quick jab in the neck, we save Daniel's life. Next up, we have a decision to make. An important decision. Who should lead these ragtag team of degenerates? It's between the sheriff, the builder, and the trader. This decision could make or break us. The wrong decision and everybody could die horribly. Perhaps it was starvation. Perhaps a siege site that was ignored to build to a deadly amount. Perhaps I could be stupid enough to blast a shotgun in Plague Zone and draw in a triple pack of blood ferals. And our new leader is Karina. We'll solve all the town's problems by demanding to speak to their manager. My plan is to head immediately back to where we just came from. Building materials is a must so we can maximise our base's potential. Although as you'll see shortly, Lethal Zone had many crafty ways to deter my mission. The infestations nearby are starting to disband due to the last plague cart we destroyed, but this area is still very deadly. An awake plague cart as well as wandering hordes that are, well, wandering about. Luckily I have a smoke bomb, but to make the most of it I want to save it for the final phase, so head in with a big old shovel. But unfortunately with no stamina items I've got to get going when a crackhead makes an appearance. I miss my first shot, exposing me for the gunslinger noob I am. Shit. Then after missing all 12 of my shots on my sidearm, blast him away with my shotgun. But when I start beating the heart once again, another feral decides I'm interfering on his turf. Luckily for Karina, the shotgun goes click clack boom. Then once I've evaded the hordes that are chasing that loud shotgun blast, I notice a bloater is making his way towards the placard. So with a bit of patience and a single molly, okay, technically 2 mollies as I missed the first, the ignited bloater cloud immediately removes the placard. So to allow the hordes to disperse, I run away up the road to search an unfinished house for building materials. I also collect the items I missed at the last placard, so at least now I'm able to regain my stamina if we get in any more trouble. I find 2 sacks of building materials but can obviously only carry 1, so I've got to make multiple trips to the car that's still parked a ways down the road, and not wanting to waste a valuable stimulant on plain old regular Zeds, things get a bit hairy. Come on, I'm not using this stim on 4 regular pricks. Honestly, but those 4 regular pricks are turning into right assholes about it. Amazingly, even with a collapsed lung, Karina gets shit done. That is until a wandering horde makes an appearance. Oh, for crying out loud, where did you all come from? At that point, I'm gonna need the stimulant to keep us going, so with our lung capacity growing back at an unfathomable rate, Karina goes Super Saiyan mode. Although that does leave our shovel in a less than desirable condition. I get another sack of materials from the unfinished house the plague cart was located at. I then panic grab another load of stuff from the heart husk before horde catches me, and once everything's been stored in the car, I only have 1 more slot available for a rucksack, so I run back up the road to collect the second sack from earlier. Then it's time to head back to base to unload. It's a shame I don't have a bigger car. And as I'm driving past anyway, I decide to clear up a siege site. I then unload, finally craft a spare cure, which I will not be accidentally selling FYI, and also use infection therapy to remove my partial infection. And just like that, we're back on the road. Still slightly injured, but the plan remains the same: gather all the building materials. There was 1 more sack in the unfinished house where the plague cart was located, but unfortunately also a screamer. With the undead now alerted to my presence, I've got to get moving, but first collect the rest of the stuff from the plague cart, and once I've blasted a second screamer with my shotgun, shit is about to get serious. You see, my loadout right now is very basic. I've got a cure and painkillers for a worst case scenario, and not even a full stack of shotgun ammo. I spot an energy drink lying on the ground, so I run to grab it, but have to avoid a feral in the process. Right, ferals can climb up onto here. Oh my god, you taking the fucking piss? On the second attempt I complete the climb, expecting the feral to follow me and we can have an epic battle. But I guess they can't climb up on these? So back on the ground I whip out the shotgun and get to blasting, but it turns out another feral might have heard that blast. Oh my god, is there another one? You taking the piss, game? Honest to god, it's almost as if I'm being really loud on Lethal Zone or something. I get him down to 1 shot, but the shotgun has run dry. So I run away while reloading, but only get 3 shells in before I've got to take the shot. Here we go. Right, we got a suppressor. Well, we don't use suppressors because we're not a massive pussy. Oh my god, you son of a bitch! After missing the first shot, the last round gets a direct hit, but now I've got to reload again, which goes well. Oh god, get onto the container, get onto the container, it's the only way, it's the only way. I get to expected safety, but it's unfortunately not as safe as I first thought. But hey, at least I get a stimulant for my efforts. Jesus Christ almighty, what the bloody hell is going on today? Oh my god! Nope! Take them, take them, take them. Just in case you couldn't tell, that's a triple pack, my friends. Yep. This is a problem. This is a problem. this is a problem. Too far from any kind of safety, I put my 2 loaded rounds into the pack, then sprint like fuck to a nearby car. Oh my god, in hell. What the absolute fuck is going on? But from here I can at least take them out relatively safely, even if it takes the majority of my ammo due to a glitchy head. Now it's time to run away and do a very quick loot as I'm able to outrun the Zeds that are left, finding another 2 sacks of building materials in another unfinished house. But with no issues collecting either, I can once again return to base with 2 material sacks, a medical sack and a few other semi-important items. Then once everything has been dropped off, I start upgrading our command center so we can get a 3rd outpost slot. But there's still one more unfinished house back in the area we just left, and I'm not leaving anything for anyone else. Luckily this trip goes without issue. Nah, just kidding, it also goes horribly. No! You bastard! But hey, at least we didn't get any more ferals. We once again get another 2 sacks of building materials from the final unfinished house. So in total, this little trip has gained us 8 sacks of building materials. That's almost as many as we'll ever need, which is especially handy as there isn't exactly many more places to search for building mats in Providence Ridge. A few missing bolts. Talk about bad timing. This curveball spawned in immediately after I deposited the final 2 sacks of materials. Everything we craft will now be much more expensive and we'll be making a lot more noise while having a lower morale than normal. And in order to complete this curveball, I've got to deposit 3 sacks of materials. What the actual pissing fuck? So I accept a mission to deliver some fuel to these guys, as I need to keep them happy as they have a really good enclave benefit, and I've also traded building materials from them in the past, so let's hope they'll have some ready for me. Unfortunately, by the time I get there, they've decided to pack up and leave without warning. Wait, what? They're gone! You are absolutely taking the bloody piss, you? It's a good thing we didn't have Bangonomics active currently. That would have most likely pushed me over the edge. So with the sun rising, I head back to base as we have a visitor. She's from a special group of knobheads that have been experimenting on the undead, and she gives me a bottle of Zedi and promises to give me more if I help her find some chemicals. I agree to help her even though I've never used Zedi, and I'm certainly not planning on starting now. The real reason I agreed to help is so I had some cannon fodder to distract the hordes while I assault the plague cart. And I've got the perfect one in mind. This plague cart is in a shipping warehouse that most likely contains a sack of building materials, so once I take it down I'll be a 1/3 of my way to getting our base back to operational standards. With our new friend doing a great job at distracting, we get the heart sorted, although it doesn't seem like she'll be joining us for the rest of our mission. And seeing as the hordes are currently a little overwhelming to say the least, I decide to move on to stage 2 of our plans. Just up the road there's a small retail area that has a Dewey's hardware that'll most likely contain materials, but while I'm here I might as well take down the plague cart. And I wish I could also say this heart goes down without a problem, but that would be a barefaced lie. While the heart's phasing, I can deal with the feral, then after a few more swings we can complete the second phase of the plague cart. Then armed with our last smoke bomb, get ready to take the easy kill. No! You son of a lovely individual who is probably devastated you're a zombie. Then with smoke active, I go back to battering, although not very successfully it seems. We get the job done just as the smoke fades, and I don't even get blood plague in the process. I then make a quick dash to the hardware store and unbelievably find another double sack of materials. Now I just need to store them both in the back of the car and we can make our escape. The first gets deposited nice and easily, but grabbing the second was a bit more troublesome. Honest to God, I just want to grab my... No! You bastard! Alright, but calm down, is it? It's only the zombie virus that ended society as we know it. You made a cure from rotten zombie flesh and paracetamol, for fuck's sake. I make a mistake of looting the plague cart, which means I've got no more room for the other sack of materials, so I end up on a destroyed bus across the road shooting at screamers. Oh, great! After putting some space between us, I managed to stun it with my gunfire and eliminate the threat. But how am I supposed to eliminate this entire horde with the resources I currently have? Well, it may be the 23-degree Welsh summer, but I might have completely lost my mind. Yeah, we are taking a serious beating, love. That's kind of how this fucking shit goes. And you certainly can't say the tactic wasn't successful. So I use up one of the 2 toolkits we have on us to free up a slot, collect the building sack, then the 3rd from the previous destination, before heading back to base to finally get rid of this bloody curveball. With that sorted and a shit ton of building materials at our disposal, I start construction on a shooting range to up our shooting skill as well as giving us extra stamina. More bastard hostiles. Christ's sake, in this playthrough I've taken more lives than cancer. But what makes things difficult is I don't know where they are, just that they're somewhere around Prescott. Even climbing the cell tower on the edge of town doesn't locate the bastards. But I do spot a survivor in need right at a plague cart. So I immediately rush to their aid, thinking this is just an easy way to deal with another heart while someone else deals with the hordes. But how wrong could I have been? Of course the plague cart goes down with no problems as she's distracting the majority of the hordes, but in order to save her at the end I've got to pull a case Caitlyn Jenner. Surprisingly, she survives my rear end, but unfortunately she's contracted blood plague. And feeling somewhat responsible for her fate, I give her the cure and she asks to join the community. Her quirk skill is herbalism, which is really handy as I have plenty of green stuff I need to grow. For medicinal purposes, of course. Once I've dropped her off at base, I take over as Warburton and head back south in the search for the hostiles. Unfortunately, my search was unsuccessful, but we still managed to make good on the daylight and instead focused on the blood plague threat within Prescott. Warburton's incredible immune system makes him an ideal soldier for battling plague hearts. With the first phase completed, I drop a molly for additional damage, although when I go back to melee, I get bit and the crowds threaten to overwhelm me, so I drop a soda can bomb and complete the second phase with one more swing. But all that ruckus has attracted a crackhead, and with my bullets being limited, I'm left with a single option, the hit and run method. Although technically we can't run just yet, as we still have one more phase to do. But hey, at least it's only a few more hits away from death, and I'm even rewarded with a primary weapon as well as some wily peak grenades, which is handy as the next plague heart is in the Big Daddy auto shop just around the corner. And with many heavy hits and a significant amount of fire, Warburton can get the job done. And just adjacent across the road is our next target in an Army and Navy store. But this one's gonna be a bit more tricky due to it being in a tight and narrow cupboard. Unfortunately, I don't get a chance to phase it before the hordes catch up to me, and with no stamina items, I've got a dip, but not before tossing a molly. When I head back in, I complete the phase with the axe, then drop my last wily peak grenade. I then take the opportunity to head back to the previous plague heart to collect its loot, and I'd say it was definitely worth it. So far, the two new primary weapons I've collected use 9mm and 45 caliber rounds, which is perfect as I've got a handgun ammo press facility mod installed to the workshop that can craft both those bullet types as well as 22 caliber. I can then complete the second phase in the Army and Navy store before we get our next negative curveball. And this one is a doozy, taking over the vast majority of the map including our base. Elevated senses, better eyesight, better hearing and a better sense of smell. What a terrible day to skip a shower. Oh, for crying out loud, why are they all in there? Have you got anything better to do with your lives? Fighting on a swivel, we get the job done, but it's most definitely time to get out of here. The sun is starting to set and pretty soon we won't be able to see much of anything, while everything around us will know exactly where we are. And when I get home, I realise there's a juggernaut dangerously close to my base. And with our resources limited, the best option is to eliminate it with the back of our car. However, I may have been ignoring the fuel gauge. Yep, I'm screwed. I'm screwed! Oh yeah, and the feral has also decided to join the fight. I drop one of my flash grenades behind me that should at least slow down the feral, but I'm way too heavy to be in this situation. Climbing on top of a trailer so at least the juggernaut can't get to me while I'm dealing with the regular Zeds. Alright, okay, maybe the fucker could actually get to me. I then throw myself off a rock face as that should at least slow the juggernaut down. However, it almost certainly means we're much closer to that feral we mentioned earlier. But at least we're not fighting both of them at the same time. Sometimes you just gotta look at the bright side of life. With the feral dead, I deposit the food rucksack, as well as save a plague cure by using infection therapy. But now the juggernaut is at our back doors and he's not taking no for an answer. We're gonna have to fight him off with everything we've got. And at that point, my axe is now turned to paper mache. One of my community members then delivers the final blow, but I'm still pretty sure I was a vital cog in that operation. Technically might have been the cog that caused all the problems, but that's still vital at the end of the day. After all that fighting, our last two heavy weapons are damaged, so I scrap everything that's of no use in order to repair them both. Then with the car refueled and repaired, we use Boyd to head to the one area of the map that shouldn't cause us any issues. And surprisingly, we do get it sorted with no problems whatsoever. Of course, that is provided you ignore all the problems we had. And with that, we can head back to base after calling it a successful day. Unfortunately, we were not able to kill the outlaws passing through, as they have simply passed through. So currently we just have elevated senses and thick-skinned active. And because of our previous interaction with an elevated senses juggernaut, all but Kim are partially infected with blood plague. And as my infirmary has less spaces than a right-wing protester has teeth, Kim it is. She's meek, so let's hope she doesn't have to converse with strangers, but luckily she's great at growing the stuff that gives us that ability. But hey, let's not diss her, plants don't ask how your day has been. She agrees to check out the mysterious broadcast as it's literally the only zone on the map that's not affected by either elevated senses or thick-skinned. I meet up with Jack, who's like, my mate was meeting a trader but hasn't checked back in, any chance you can go find her? Reluctantly she agrees as it's back in the elevated senses zone, and Kim was right to be worried, as the moron is out there blasting off an unsuppressed firearm causing bigger issues. Could never be me. I can do my womanly duties to keep her safe, but Peruvi has the accuracy of a Rupert Murdoch owned newspaper. You stop shooting now, love? She doesn't, then a screamer does its thing. Oh, well now shit's escalating, innit, love? Right, I'll take it out. She says she's sick, so I'm like, hurry up and come with me. But that screamer I mentioned is actually 3, and I'm now trapped in my own molly. I'm on fire! I'm on fire! And my final incendiary, a fuel bomb, also isn't able to instantly fix the situation. I gotta continue talking. Oh, for crying out loud. Wait, what?
Don't get too close to the bloater!
Unfortunately, that advice was a little on the late side, and Peruvi now has her lungs filled with a gooey toxic substance. But she also said she was overloaded with tons of valuable loot, so I decide to fight off the hordes to see exactly what she's got. And by the time I'm done, this entire excursion has cost me several bullets, 4 snacks, a couple of painkillers, a molly, and a firebomb. I'm rewarded with... On second thought, I'd rather not talk about it. Seeing as base is local, I head back to sort out my health situation, and a feral has decided to make that situation even worse. I then accidentally press the wrong button and end up getting into the car, which means the feral can have his dirty way with my bonnet. Bad crackhead! Naughty crackhead. Although my stamina doesn't allow me to get the final kill, so I hide behind my community members with their big guns. But now I need to get out of here as all that gunfire could draw a lot of problems, so I quickly remove my partial infection and use a first aid kit to recover health, then get the bloody hell out of here. But I may have made the wrong decision in my choice of destination, as I chose a plague art that's perfectly situated between the elevated senses and thick-skinned curveballs. And as well as it being darker than humanity's future, I'm only relying on snacks for stamina items. Luckily with Kim's big ass axe, she can keep the undead off her while also completing the first phase of the plague art, even if her greed results in a little inhalation of some nasty shite. And with only 1 snack left to restore stamina, I climb onto the caravan out the back, and that's when I get yet another ransacker's post. And that's the 3rd time I've had it in this run. The 3rd time! They're situated at Sawyer's Crossing with the most 5-year-old name I've ever seen for baddies. What kind of name is that for baddies? Oh... That's a problem for later. Now we need to sort out this plague art. With all the undead surrounding my caravan, I can simply run through the back door, closing it behind me, and complete the 2nd phase before anything can catch up to me. Then it's a quick dash back to my caravan to catch my breath. Then after some extremely accurate and suppressed shots to draw them back outside, I can head on in, repeating the same tactic to get the win. And once I've done some panic looting, it's time to get the bloody hell out of here. Right back to base as it's time to give Kim a rest, and for our leader Karina to take centre stage. Her first quest is to win allies to help us fight the blood plague, so she heads to speak to Bowley of the Unbound to discuss a missing fugitive. However, the idiots have set up base right next to an infestation. Christ's sake, if they were any duller, they'd be kicking the shit out of a Greg's Bakery in an ill-fated attempt to take a country back from the illegal immigrants, mate, innit? Fucking slags. But at least that's the end of elevated sensors. Honest to God, will you just stop shooting the pissing zombies and speak to me? After I manage to pin him down, he tells me Maddie ran away right after the murder, so I head off to hunt Maddie down to bring her back for a fair trial. However, when I find her at a fruit stand searching for evidence that would prove her innocence, I reject her pleas for assistance, which makes her slightly mad, and then I've got to repeatedly shoot her in the face with a shotgun. I then head back to tell Bowley about what happened, and he tells Karina he'll stick by us to help us defeat the blood plague. However, the two-faced twat chooses to remain neutral. Justice shall be swift and just. But before anything can kick off, fueling the plague, my favourite curveball, and you'll see why soon enough. In order to find out which plague art is causing this curveball, I've got to go to speak to Susie of the Defenders. Oh my god, you son of a bitch! What the fucking shit did you do to my car? What I completely forgot we had fueling the plague on. Honest to God, what the absolute shit is that about? Well, I'm glad you asked. Plague zombies will catch on fire when attacked, and some may even explode. Basically, you want to avoid anything with purple shit leaking out of their skin. I can then speak to Susie, who tells me which plague art is causing the issue, and for revenge as she destroyed my car, I recruit her to my cause. But I have zero intentions on destroying the heart causing the issues right now, as I can use it to my advantage. Once I fixed up the car with a toolkit I was storing in the back, we make our way to another plague art site that's also in the fueling the plague zone. You see, the great thing about this curveball is you can use the exploding Zeds to instantly kill plague arts. You just have to be willing to risk getting singed in the process. After a single smack to the back of the head to the right zombie at the right place, and the fucker lights up like a cop car in an EDL march. That is why oh my god! That car better be okay. There's a lot of smoke coming from it, by the looks. And Susie's even still alive and kicking. Although barely, if we're being honest. Gratefully, I get a medikit from the plague cart, and I immediately put it to good use, as explosives tend to do a bit of damage. Then on the way to unload our spoils of war, we gotta stop by the sanguine survivors to help them before shit gets out of hand. Which worries me a little bit, as they're supposed to be the brand new blood donor enclave, so something's telling me they've glitched out or something. I engage combat effectively, blindly spraying my load and hoping my mates can walk off a 45 caliber round to the back. But when plague zombies start to enter the building, it's time to light shit up. Alright, okay. Ah, there we go, finally. Where's my... Oh, my car. Again. So, yay, the blood donors are saved, but at what cost? I speak to the leader, Jace, who gives me a reward for my efforts, and then I accidentally threaten them. But thanks to update 37, neither of us need to die. And this is why I think this Enclave arc is bugged. I don't think I should be able to recruit any of these guys when I've only done 2 missions for them. Please let me know if you've had any issues like this in the comment section. But now I need a toolkit in order to get the car up and running, and seeing as no one is selling, I stick a waypoint onto a garage nearby. But frankly, I'd be surprised if Susie can survive the 700-meter round trip. Although the trip actually goes by really easily. Until... That's right, another crackhead in the distance, but for now at least he's leaving us alone. I get the seconds auto repair, collecting fuel from the pumps outside, and a toolkit from the first container I search inside. Also, no idea where Susie's gone. Susie has apparently abandoned me, therefore she was a false pretender. On the way back I tried to steer clear of the plague feral, but up ahead I spot at least 2, and let's be honest, ferals don't hunt in packs of 2. So instead I go even further out of my way as I don't want to get into that kind of fight. Okay, that failed, but 1 is definitely better than 4. Shotgun once again goes brop brop. I then get back, and just in time too, as I've got to sort out another dispute for the sanguine survivors. This time I get to use diplomacy instead of exploding zombies. How boring. Without even listening to their problems, I side with Jace as I can't be dealing with Bowley's neutrality. I need total and unwavering loyalty without a single question about my leadership. I then fix up the car, and as if by some miracle, Susie's back. So on the way back to base, I decide to celebrate the occasion by taking down a siege site. I lob a molly through the front window, but that doesn't even touch the sides. Then I get jumped by a crackhead. Oh god, Jesus! Thankfully I got enough shotgun ammo to deal with it, but barely. However, the same cannot be said for our Juggernaut. See, Susie! But Susie does the heroic thing and sacrifices herself for the good of our community. Susie's currently getting ripped in half by a Juggernaut. I'm so sorry I couldn't save your life, Susie. But know this, your sacrifice shall not be in vain. Karina promises to take your loss of life and use it as fuel for the rest of our journey. Rest in peace, Susie. You were the real one in the end. P.S. You still owe me a vehicle. You better hope Valhalla has a bloody good auto shop. We then get back to base in style, unload our spoils of war, then take over as Evelyn, our drug-resistant gunslinger. Her job is to deal with the ransackers in Sawyer's Crossing. But before we go, we've got to speak to Warburton, and it seems that bug we dealt with previous is coming back. Under the weather, stamina is shite, drugs are less effective, and the guns will sway more than a Parkinson's patient on a roller coaster. I'll need another 3 sacks of medical supplies to make it go away. So after spotting a wandering trader on the map, I head over there immediately hoping to get everything I need to make this go away. But they're actually from Red Talon, and that's when I notice a second glitch. They're not charging me influence like a regular wandering trader, they're charging me prestige. And as I've got a shit ton for my late night daybreak sessions, I purchased 3 ammo sacks and 2 fuel sacks. Although to be honest, I didn't actually notice that glitch until I'd already purchased everything, so seeing as it's glitched I decide against abusing it as an exploit. Well, that is until later, but you'll see why then. For now we head to Sawyer's Crossing to kill the ransackers, and I make sure to take the west route around the map. It may be slightly longer, but at least I don't have to risk my life by driving through the fuel in the plague zone. Once I arrive near the hostiles, I park up a safe distance away and head in to investigate. After downing an energy drink, I kick in the door and claim my first of 6 lives, even if it costs me some plague damage. I try claiming the high ground on a shipping container as that went so well last time we did it, and while I managed to down 1, it's too risky to remain up here with no cover. But as I run to find some... Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, God, that's a lot of them. They're all coming for me. I managed to regain composure, but not for long. Oh, no, not again, you son of a bitch. The undead surround me and hostiles take turns in beating me. However, I still managed to fight them off. But with Evelyn being drug resistant and the underweather curveballs still being active, we are really struggling to regain health. Luckily, we now have the assistance of a blood feral. And while he's distracting most of the hostiles, I'm able to isolate one and fully take her out. Another rushes to her rescue, but he falls like a sack of shit. I then take refuge from the undead back on the shipping container and pick them off one by one as the hordes get a very much appreciated assist. The final member falls to a zombie, and while I would love to search all their corpses for weapons, it's definitely too risky with everything else we've got going on. I managed to escape Sawyer's Crossing, although not without injury. Of course you did. Of course you did. But before we can head back to base, I've at least got to grab 1 sack of medical supplies. And maybe a toolkit wouldn't go to miss. I find a pharmacy in Prescott, although it's in the one section that's still in plague territory, which means I can get overrun rather quickly. But at least I managed to grab the medical supplies. So I head home as the drug resistance is really having a negative effect. And once Evelyn is checked into the infirmary, we take over as Karina, who's got another dispute to settle. But on the way, she realises she's got to drive past a mysterious wandering trader, so decides to make a detour. Unfortunately, it does happen to be in the fuel in the plague zone. Jesus Christ. I'm probably not doing a very good job of demonstrating why this curveball's so good, right? But gratefully, all that struggle was absolutely worth it. As when I speak to the trader, I realise he's selling an Eternal Guard's Infinite Rage. A 150 round AK-47 is everything a growing sheriff needs. In all of my hours in this game, it's only the second time I've ever seen it. I simply had to buy it. But with the highest of highs must come the lowest of lows. Oh god, it's triple pack! Triple pack! 3 crackheads are looking to ruin my day, and with no stimulants, they look like they very much could. Oh god, we might be in trouble here. We might be in trouble! No! 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 No, 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 no! 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 You stupid bastard! Oh! I've just lost my infinite rage! Don't forget your leader, you psychopath. Oh, that's painful. That's not good. Taking over as Warburton is his duty to collect Karina's supplies. However, radio silence. I can't simply just call in a new vehicle. And the cell tower causing the issues is in Sawyer's Crossing, surrounded by 4 placards. I guess that curveball isn't going away anytime soon, and the nearest vehicle is nearly 500 meters away. Although on the way I pay a visit to the Red Talons as I'm completely out of toolkits, and by stuffing my pockets with as many of the scraps as possible, I'll be able to build some back at base thanks to my mechanic skill. Although being heavy as fuck means I'm properly knackered when a feral shows up before I can refuel my new vehicle. But gratefully I do manage to escape its clutches by heading back to the Red Talons, who have plenty of big boy guns. I know 4 on 1 doesn't seem fair, but if fairness was a realistic concept, Elon Musk would be a slug. With that, I managed to refuel my new broken Rapscallion, and once I've crafted some toolkits back at base, I repair it and head off to collect Karina's supplies. Made much easier thanks to update 37 allowing me to track her reanimated corpse. And thankfully when we arrive, those ferals are nowhere to be seen. Karina is very keen to say hello though. I managed to collect all of her stuff and even make a second cheeky purchase from the trader, the BML-40, a 12-round grenade launcher to be used on the next set of raiders or outlaws that think they can steal from me. Then as I'm struggling to find sites to loot medical supplies from, I stop by this pharmacy to claim it as an outpost. On second thoughts, maybe not. I guess spending $2.5 grand on weapons of mass destruction wasn't the smartest idea when I desperately need medical supplies. But trading medical care for military grade weaponry? I'm basically the United States government. Predictably, a 150 round AK beats a crackhead, then fueling the plague almost costs us a second life. Oh, not good. Not good. Well, a third life if you count Susie. I then immediately decide to get out of there and give Warburton a bloody well-deserved rest. Evelyn once again takes centre stage, and I think it's time to get rid of this bastard curveball. It hasn't brought me the good fortune I was expecting. Jesus. Yep. Forgot about that. First I take down another siege site, then head over to the plague cart that's causing the undead to explode. And as you'd expect, that goes by without incident. I push a plague's head in the back that ignites him like a fuse that soon explodes, taking out the plague cart. And while that stops the curveball, there's still plenty of exploding knobheads around in the immediate area. But once this simply dealt with, I collect the loot, explode a few more zombies before getting the hell out of there. And now I finally have enough influence to turn this pharmacy into an outpost, even with a decaying infestation next door. I claim it, then set landmines, but not just to remove the immediate problems threatening Evelyn's life, but because this outpost is in a tactical position and will hopefully prevent the majority of siege sites from forming. Although as I then head back to base, my nemesis returns. But I've also got to solve the end of the weather curveball. Not being able to reliably heal my community is really taking its toll. So taking over as Kim, we head out to find 2 more sacks of medical supplies, extremely slowly thanks to banger bloody nomics. At least this time we don't have to worry about fuel consumption, just slow start and slow acceleration. A combination that might drive me into a brain aneurysm. It's stupid game! I know of a medical tent just northwest of Sawyer's Crossing, but en route I can't take my finger off the accelerator because the acceleration will take 3 to 5 working days to kick in, whilst also suffering from no brakes. A very unique experience in all honesty. Come on, get off me car! That was not me trying to be like Northern. Sadly, the medical tent I had in mind had already been looted, but while in Rome you make peasants fight lions, well when in plague territory we slap red raw meat with a double-hander. Sorry, that was just a really convoluted way of saying we're gonna take on the plague cart in one of the neighbouring buildings. There's only 2 plague Zeds in the building, so it's pretty simple to take the first phase with a heavy weapon. Then with a molly and a reckless mag dump, we can complete the second phase even quicker. But then it's time to run from a crackhead, although it's a plague Zed that does an insane amount in infection damage with a single tackle. What the actual fuck? With no stamina items to fight the bitch, I take refuge on a car and put way too many bullets into the head clipping prick. I then hop down, leading the hordes to the one side of the building, but with the door closed I can take out the final phase before they can bust it down. I even get a chance to loot it too. Then after darting through an open door with no zombies, I actually managed to lose the interest of the undead. Pretty handy as my escape is extremely slow thanks to... There's a stranger seeking assistance across the road, and I'm nothing if not helpful towards strangers, even with my car in the current condition. I absolutely fucking despise this curveball. I understand slow startup, but it's not going anywhere. My finger is right flat. 1 molly and 3 swings gets rid of the horde. I can then speak to the stranger, and it turns out we're both looking for medical supplies, and she's brought the intel as to where to find some. So rather deceptively I agree to help.
We really need to speed up.
Oh, I'm trying, you stupid woman. We need to speed up. Why, do we have a ferro on us, do we, love? I find the medical supplies while she fights the undead, and then I tell her to shove it up her arse. Now I just need 1 more medical sack to get rid of under the weather. Unfortunately, a radio command is out of the question because of radio silence. Well, luckily I just so happen to remember you can get meds from public bathrooms, which is ironic because usually you need meds after visiting them. But then again, maybe that's just the bathrooms I've been visiting. No further questions, please. So I head home to unload and take over as Evelyn, our gunslinger with the Eternal Guard. But I'm starting to suspect that gun might be cursed. You'll see why soon enough. I decide to focus my interest on the west side of Providence, and I identify a target in a warehouse, although we struggle on the approach. Oh, for crying out loud. He doesn't even want to go up hills. Come on, you piece of shit. There's 4 plague zombies inside, and thanks to my silent and quick thinking, I can eliminate them all with my sledgehammer. That means I can complete the first phase uninterrupted and burn the bitch with a molly. Then once the gas has disappeared, I take the second phase with 1 more heavy swing, but now I hear Feral's cry ringing through my ears. Coming to devour my kidneys, I sense his presence as all heroes sense the movements of the nemesis. Think! Jesus Christ! I try pulling off the door trick to take it out easily, but that fails dramatically. No, you stupid bastard! You trying to fucking... Ah! So instead I go back to my gunslinging ways, and with 1 more heavy swing we take out the plague cart. I even get another 2 stims for my efforts. But unfortunately I can't make the quick escape I usually would thanks to... Can't risk the undead latching onto my already damaged vehicle, so come up with a cunning plan to eliminate them all swiftly. This is going to hurt you significantly more than it hurts me. Fire will always be your greatest ally. Fire won't leave you for the neighbour. Fire won't pop to the shops for a pint of milk when you're 6 and never return. Fire won't laugh at you because the school tap soaked your trousers and made it look like you pissed yourself when you definitely didn't. You had full control of your bladder for several years now. No! Get away from me, you smelly bastards! I can't remember what I was on about now, but anyway, on to the next play card. That just so happens to be in the barn of cheesy tactics. Using the car to block the only entrance means I'm completely alone to take out the play card. However, I've accidentally trapped myself. For some reason I can't climb over the car to lead away the undead, and I can't jump in and drive away because the undead will latch onto the bonnet because of the slow start. Thankfully, I'm at least able to take out the crackhead that's running about. I then drop a molly to burn up the Zeds that I've gathered and attempt my escape. No! Instantly we can track blood plague. You stupid! Come on! Go! 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 No! No! Our health drops to an impossible amount. Will the curse of the Eternal Guard live on through Evelyn? Get up! Get up! Less than 2 minutes until blood plague fully infects Evelyn's body. Fucking stupid! Stupid! Fucking stupid! Game! Thankfully Evelyn had a cure, but the mental damage had already taken its toll. Fucking have that! Fucking shove that fuel bomb so far up your ass. After everything else has been violently and loudly dealt with, I actually managed to make our escape. Although admittedly we're closer to death than a care home ravaged by COVID. Thankfully Evelyn manages to make it back to base with no issues, but we do have another curveball spawn. Gargantua juggernauts. Their terrible hygiene causes stamina to drain, they can smell us even through their own cloud of BO, and they deal much higher damage. But what's new is I can end this curveball by killing a single Juggernaut. Well, I decided to completely ignore that curveball. I tend to run away from Juggernauts, and having that in place over a different curveball might make our lives easier. Now controlling Boyd, we head off to the Bloodlust Liberators to help them out. Seeing as our last Blood Donor Enclave glitched out, it's nice to have a second attempt at this new Enclave arc, even if they're on the other side of the map. But the perilous journey will all be worth it to make allies for fighting against the Blood Plague. Not even Bangernomics could prevent my hopefulness for the future. Damien tells me his friend is in desperate need of a blood transfusion, but he needs a sanitizing machine to facilitate one. Whereabouts is... You have got to be fucking shitting on me. You know fuel's a valuable resource, right, Damien? I've just driven all the way from my base. You couldn't have messaged that on the radio? Just like, oh, hey, dude, just to let you know, I've just been checking Google Maps. Like, you're set up really close to this place that has got some very valuable medicine that I need. Any chance you can do us a solid, pop on by, grab the shit I need, and then drive on over? No. Instead, what I'll do is I'll wait for you to drive to the other side of the map to tell you to drive all the way back there to get the shit I need and drive back once again. Honest to God, do you know fuel is fucking valuable these days? This rant went on for the entire 2,000 meter drive, but I won't torture you with any more of the Greta will be furious jokes. I enter the spoon and cone, eliminating 2 Zeds before collecting the sanitizing machine. God knows why such valuable medical equipment was in an ice cream shop. I'll just assume that this ice cream brand also dealt with harvesting human organs as a side hustle. Then after completing another 2,000 meter drive back to them, as Royal Mail was ignoring my calls, I let them all, including the one that's in desperate need of a blood transfusion, fight off the undead that I drew here with my engine noise. I then give Damien the goods, and all I get is a grateful thank you. Not even anything worth buying, so I just sell her my gone off alcohol and tampons for an extortionate price. Then after another 2,000 meter drive back to where I've just come from, it's time to help out the sanguine survivors who want a hand taken out to play card. However, it seems like Ian's not even gonna bother coming with me. Bastard. At least it's fairly close to our location. But on the way, you'll never guess which curveball causes us issues. Nope. Get out! You stupid fucking twat heads! I draw them away from the car and climb on a shipping container to regain stamina, then get to beating them down with the shovel, making sure not to waste a stimulant on such a pathetic horde. However, significant damage has already been done. The smoke from our engine is now so dark it wouldn't get through American customs. The next heart is in a horse corral, but this turned out to be anything but simple. I start out as we always do, attacking with my heavy weapon, but when I hear a feral's cry, I drop a molly and make a run for it. It chooses to attack while I'm trapped in an animation, although it does no damage. I then manage to spray and pay a load, taking him down to 1 shot, but the other Zeds are also a potential hazard, so I dodge out. But time is on my side and I take the crackhead down once and for all. I then complete the first phase and drop my final molly, although that might have been a mistake as the horde that has gathered is now massive. But wanting to make the most of my stimulant, I need to make a move now. I managed to complete the second phase pretty quickly, but another feral has now joined the party. I lead it outside to shoot it in the face, and at last we get some good news. Bangernomics has come to an end. 1 final shot deals with a feral, however the unsuppressed gunshots have drawn even more, and I can hardly get near the play card. If only I brought more mollies. So I climb onto a car and force their attention on me with even more gunshots, and once they've fully surrounded me, I go back in for one last time. But I'm not going to have a chance to loot it due to the sheer number of knobheads, so I run to a nearby house to make as much noise as possible before sneaking back. Yes, sneak in. You know we're up Shit's Creek when I'm using the crouch button. But it was all worth it as we get some pretty tasty loot. Then we gotta go tell Ian about our success. And that turns them from friendly to allied, which means I get to recruit one of these individuals for free. It's certainly not going to be Ian though, as he's a terrible mechanic, and we've already got a pretty good one in the way of Warburton. Jace here is shit hot with a knob in his hand. I mean, he's a great driver. And then there's Glory, who's the computer expert, which is exactly what I'm after, so welcome to the team, Glory. She runs off to her new home, however this enclave stays put. Shouldn't it have disbanded? I downloaded a mod that contained a feature similar to that the day previous, so I shut down the game to make sure it wasn't turned on. But the only mods I currently had active were Dev Menu and Mission Caller, which certainly don't have that effect. So my question is, has this happened to anyone else? Is it just for the Blood Donor Enclave? Maybe it's a glitch? Let me know what you think in the comment section. Either way, I take advantage and welcome Jace to the community. But not Ian though. His terrible mechanic arse can stay on his own. Serves him right for letting me take on that plague art by myself. With 7 people I can finally start to dismantle that failed Cleo drop, not only freeing up a large slot, but also giving me some decent supplies in the process. And because of all the toolkits he's been crafting, I can also upgrade Warburton's mechanics skill to auto mechanics. And because he's been doing such a good job in keeping the fleet running, I make him the leader of the gang. In 30 minutes, once the Cleo drop has been dismantled, I'll be able to stick a trade depot in its place. That should help us gain a shit ton of influence. But while we wait for that to happen, it's time for the man to prove his leadership and head to Prescott to finish off the final playgate in that area, completely ignoring the zone of a brand new curveball. Strange mutations, higher damage, resistant to fire, and they continue attack even after removing their head. Definitely a good idea to avoid at all costs. And with Bangonomics no longer active, it's not a problem to get into Prescott. Initially it seems like the building is empty, but I couldn't quite complete the first phase before a crackhead makes an appearance. So I drop a fuel bomb which gets the playgate over the first phase, while also slowing down the crackhead. And with burst fire it's pretty simple to down it in the open. A waste of ammo, sure, but what am I to do when it's the only firing mode this weapon has? I then take the second phase and drop a molly, before one final frag gets the job done for good, but it was intended to also take down the horde that was attacking me, which as you can see, it did not. So I tried to lead the horde away, and that's when I realised I'm still in plague territory. So there's got to be at least one more plague guard down here, and I know exactly where it is. It's in a bathroom with only one entrance, so with a bit of correct timing I can complete the first phase with no trouble, even dropping my final molly as it spews its gases. I also toss in a frag to try and take out a feral. It doesn't, but it does sound like it completed the second phase of the plague guard. Once again burst fire beats feral, and after a few more swings we completely eradicate blood plague in Prescott. I then run back towards the other heart to loot it without any issues, then drive back to the last heart and loot that with no issues. Thankfully taking out those hearts means the siege sites that were forming near base are starting to degrade, especially good as one of which was a level 3. But I can't yet leave Prescott as there's a stranger nearby that needs my assistance. He got separated from his friend on a looting run and is asking if I'd help him go find his mate. And being the kind but malevolent being I am, I agree, however with a price. He must assist me in what should be the final plague art on the western side of the map. But it's fair to say we don't get off to the best start, as when I start attacking, he's already feeling sick. I complete the first phase and drop a molly, and with Chief Cannon Fodder distracting the hordes outside, it's pretty simple to take down the second phase. For some unexplained reason the mission fails, but I take down the plague art once and for all, and even have time to collect its loot. We can then make it home after a really successful day. Only 4 plague arts remain in Providence Ridge, and they're all located in Sawyer's Crossing. I even start the construction of a trade depot to increase our community's wealth. Everything was looking so good. That is until Warburton wanted to try out the grenade launcher we bought previously. 12 rounds of explosive damage he was just itching to try out. And there was even a perfect place in mind just around the corner. A dire level 3 infestation with 2 ferals and a juggernaut that didn't stand a chance against him. By taking them all out, he would prove to the community he really was the correct choice for leader, whilst also getting rid of the terrible gargantuan juggernaut mutation. With the juggernaut on the porch, I take the opportunity to pop 2 shots off, causing it to stumble. But then my cocky ass decides to take on a plague feral hand to hand, even dodging a charge from a second feral. I take out the juggernaut with one final shot, again avoiding a feral's assault. However, my 5th shot was a little too close, causing minor damage to myself, but at least it stunned the ferals. A 6th shot appears to take one out, but I was wrong, as he tackles me from behind as I fight his brother. But Warburton refuses to die. Powered on pills and molotovs, he will fight on. That is until a Plague Z walks in front of my grenade launcher shot, sending Warburton to the ground, and sadly he never gets back up. R.I.P. Warburton, he was a legend who died a Viking's death. Fire, explosives, and a crackhead removing his face with its teeth. Warburton's dead! Son of a bitch! After the tragic death of our leader Warburton, Evelyn steps up to lead the gang through the final 4 plague arts of Providence Ridge. And her first act as leader is to take out a wandering horde that's wandering a little too close to base, before collecting Warburton's belongings, mainly that grenade launcher. However, things very quickly escalate into a much bigger problem. But hey, at least the crackhead has been dealt with. Now to deal with everyone else, fire is my best solution. But unfortunately for that to work, I've got to get them all grouped together. That's it, spread the flames through. Spread the flames! Thankfully 3 bloaters are also present, so I take advantage of their flammable insides. Then after a small bit of tidying up, it's on to collect Warburton's things. And I'm not saying he failed his mission, seeing as he did actually take out a juggernaut, but there's still 3 screamers present. Praise be to Odin that the ferals are no longer here. I take out the first screamer, simple enough, ignoring the non-plague bite of course. I then collect the rifle ammo press dropped by the earlier mentioned juggernaut, however the other 2 screamers are not so easily identifiable. And the hordes have gone insane, and this is vanilla leaf lethal zone. How the hell is there this many zombies? After a bit of dodging and weaving, I eliminate Screamer number 2, although I'm starting to wish I'd saved a molly. One question, where's the bloody other one? And I simply refuse to waste a very valuable stimulant on a simple Screamer, so when the cardio is completely drained, I just climb to safety. I find the Screamer hanging around the back door like a stubborn hemorrhoid, and now it's time to leg it back to base. Evelyn has certainly taken more damage than I was intending, so I take over as Boyd and replace a handgun ammo press with a rifle ammo press we just collected. Boyd then makes his way to a wandering fuel trader, selling our unwanted backpacks and board games, before buying all the fuel sacks. But why the hell are they so expensive? More bloody outlaws passing through and once again cost me sweet Wonga. I know exactly how to deal with these hack jobs. I drop the fuel sacks back at base, and seeing as our last mechanic had a disagreement with a plague feral, I head back to the sanguine survivors to give Ian a chance at the big leagues. Yes, his mechanic skill is on par with a small child fixing a puncture on his BMX, but beggars can't be choosers. But then it's off to find the hack jobs, and I made a very particular promise previously. The BML-40, a 12-round grenade launcher to be used on the next set of raiders or outlaws that think they can steal from me. So with Boyd armed with Warburton's grenade launcher, we go on the hunt. Although by the time we find him in this barn, the sun has begun to set, setting up an epic cinematic showdown. Especially as there's an infestation right next door and 2 ferals have followed me to the slaughterfest.
Oh, I'm gonna fuck you up.
You gonna fuck me up, are you? I'll be honest with you, I don't think you are. Unfortunately, when the car takes too much damage, it starts to smoke, and I've got to get out on foot. One blast from the grenade launcher stuns the crackhead, and using my knife I can execute the prick, getting a Timberwolf in the process. What a wonderful day. But these hostiles have been promised to my grenade launcher, and as a man you must always honour your promises, otherwise your word means nothing. Unlucky son. Unlucky indeed. I then take out a Zed before collecting his weapons and pipe bombs, but the Zed reanimates with no head. Strange mutation. They hit harder, not asked about fire, and can continue fighting even after losing their heads. Overall, a terrible combination to deal with. The undead deal with the second outlaw, and a combination of my grenade launcher and point blank burst fire take out the last. But I still need to escape the undead and make the mistake of setting them alight. We've already seen that's not a good idea. No. Oh shit! No! His plague bar is nearly full and his health plummets to dangerous levels. Boyd! Boyd! Get up, Boyd! Get up! Oh my god! How I survived that, I'll never know. But we're certainly not out the woods just yet, as I still need to lose an infinitely burning horde. Okay, perhaps not. With nothing left chasing me, I can make my escape. Closer to death than Epstein on suicide watch, while also driving a car on the brink of exploding. Thankfully, I can get back to base without touching a single thing. Look at that, Minecraft YouTubers, how easy was that? That's when I know this Warburton's trade depot has finished construction, but I can't bring myself to get rid of it, even with radio silence rendering it a complete waste of time and resources. For now, I'll leave it as a shrine as we grieve the loss of our great leader. Back in charge of Evelyn, we repair and refuel, before making our way to Sawyer's Crossing where the final 4 play carts remain, 3 of which being ridiculously close to each other, but that's going to work to our advantage. However, on our way to defeat the Blood Plague for the final time, we get even more bad news. Out for blood. Zombies hit harder, they're relentless and tougher against my melee attacks. Although that will be the final heart we take down, for now we need to focus on the 3 at a time. When I arrive, I park up a safe distance away, as I was packed with more explosives than Guy Fawkes in 1605, and I don't want the car becoming a needless casualty in the up and coming war. Surprisingly, everything seems quiet as we start the assault, and that works out perfectly as I can complete the first phase completely uninterrupted, then drop a molly as the undead start to arrive. But there's no time to sit about playing with our metaphorical dicks. With a stimulant active, we've gotta get moving. Using Evelyn's gunslinger abilities, we easily deal with the feral, before charging towards the barbecue joint across the road. But unfortunately, during this attack, I get bit, taking massive infection damage in the process, but that still doesn't stop me from completing the first phase, then dropping another molly as I escape, just as another feral joins the fun. After taking it outside, I eliminate it with gunslinger, before turning my attention to plague art number 3. And this one was a bit more problematic as the undead were already inside. That means I can't complete the first phase before a crackhead arrives, so I dip and drop a thermite grenade I bought off the fuel trader earlier. I once again gunslinger the crackhead, then one more swing completes the phase, and as I escape I drop a wily peat grenade. Yet another feral has decided to join the action. But let's face it, as he's a lonely boy, he's barely an inconvenience at this point. This is Evelyn, not Warburton. Back to the first half, and with the door closed behind me, I complete the second phase with one swing, but still get a second in before dropping my final molly. This 4 bloat is outside, so I drop a wily Pete to burn up the now massive hordes chasing me, and that means I've got plenty of time to take the second phase in the barbecue place. Another feral falls to Evelyn's might, then back in the bovine express, one more swing gets the job done. I guess that wily Pete goes to double phase. Before leaving, I grab bandages and pipe bombs. As Evelyn is drug resistant, she goes through a shit ton of meds. At this point, the hordes are an uncoordinated mess, meaning I take out the first with no problems. And the same goes for the barbecue place. Now I want an outpost to use it as a stepping stone for a final playcard, but due to the amounts of the undead, that's going to be very difficult. So I climb onto a nearby bus and make a lot of racket, then charge back towards the pharmacy to turn it into an outpost and set incendiary landmines. And as you'd imagine, that does a great job of cleaning up the mess. Now with a safe area to explore, I loot the 3 hearts we just took down, but because I don't have enough influence to upgrade the outpost to allow me to drop off rucksacks, I have to store them in the back of the car. Then before we take on the final playcard, we've received a message from the Bloodlust Liberators to see if they can join our group. Which is a bit mental, as I've only helped them out once. Don't you think you're coming on a bit strong, Damien? But I'm not one to look a gift horse in the mouth. Their skills are very valuable, so I welcome them to the team. There is Renata, the terrible gardener who moonlights as a serial killer of plants, but maybe also with family. Then there's Damien, a fantastic driver who loves to share. And finally Tones, who I relate to the most, as sometimes he just needs some quiet time. He's also an aircraft engineer, so let's hope he can teach Ian a thing or two. Now with 10 members, the community has never been fuller. Next up for Evelyn is to investigate some survivor activity. She is the sheriff after all. A group named the Shenanigans killed her friend and she's after revenge. And being the sheriff, Evelyn likes to promote vigilante justice, so agrees to lend a hand. If you got murdered by a group of people called the Shenanigans, honestly, I couldn't take you seriously. I'm talking myself out of helping Shell out, I'll be honest with you. But truth be told, Evelyn could never say no to a violent solution. People needed killing, and she was ready for action. Although it does sound like one of the guys is armed with a gas launcher. Luckily, it was just a bullet that hit me, otherwise it would very much be lights out. Once you've shaken them off, it's simple to clean up from there. Oh god damn it! Get up, get up, get up, get up, not Evelyn! Okay, now she can shake them off and deal with the final 2. But I still want to search their corpses for loot, so it looks like I'm gonna have to turn to arson even if Shell takes a bit of collateral. Shell thanks me for my efforts and gives me a sack of medical supplies. Then I can do a cheeky bit of grave robbing. But seeing as Evelyn has taken a fair bit of damage, it's probably for the best to give her a rest. But not before I take out a Juggernaut with the Apocalypse's greatest weapon. I swap out to one of our newbies, Damien, and after loading him up for war, send him on his way to deal with the final playcard in Providence Ridge. Although things won't be as simple as you think as an old nemesis makes a reappearance. Smokestorm, you son of a bitch! Thankfully, I'm able to complete the journey before the thick smoke blocks my view. And it's not actually until I'm fighting the playcard that the smoke actually starts to form. But isn't it taking the piss a bit that it actually forms inside buildings? Surely that shouldn't be a thing. With the crowds getting in the way, it's a little while before I can complete the first phase, and during my escape I accidentally pipe bomb myself. But Damien's an absolute champ and just shrugs it off. The second phase comes much quicker, and as I escape I drop my final Wily Peak grenade. Which means it's just a few more swings and we get the job done for good. But we're not out of the woods just yet. We were lucky enough that no ferals caused any issues during the playcard takedown, but if I want to loot it, I'm gonna have to take one down now. And with Smokestorm, shit is very eerie. Luckily, Burst Fire is my ally. I then managed to grab my loot and make our escape, with my destination in mind being the pharmacy I turned into an outpost earlier, using my minimap as the best way to navigate. Gratefully, I managed to get there without tripping a bloater, but it's a long way back to base when you can't see beyond your bonnet. So to wait out the Smokestorm, we swap to Renata, the serial killer of plants. She makes the cell tower nearby safe, finally getting rid of radio silence. Then egged on by the other community members, she decides to prove her worth by taking on a Juggernaut with only a knife. Her mate Damien had ended the blood plague, while Tones was providing invaluable mechanical support. She uses Molotovs to take out the Zeds attracted by the Juggernaut's roar, and even though she's fast and nimble, this was only going to end one way. R.I.P. Renata. Another soldier falls to the undead scourge. Devastated and blaming herself, Evelyn needs to vent her frustrations. However, before she gets the chance, a group of furries threaten the entire town with violence. As soon as our car is on the other side of the map, I radio in for a replacement. A blood ambulance supplied by Jace's hero bonus. And after a quick wardrobe change to match the goal at hand, it's time to check in with the other enclaves, neither of which have we had any decent interactions with. Starting with the Unbound, who will be very happy to assist us in in the up-and-coming fight. In fact, so too would the Unbent. However, they did warn me about the remaining soldiers who might have already talked to the furries. So I make my way over there, and that's when I realise the remaining soldiers are an enclave that Warburton was supposed to help out before his untimely death. We pull up to the factory they're basing at, and their leader just starts manically laughing at me. He then mentions something about the high ground, but no somersaults for me. I'll just shoot the fucker in the face with a high-powered assault rifle. But that was exactly the release she needed to help her through her leadership woes. Truthfully, she knew she wasn't worthy of leadership. She was a trained killer, and that's just the way things were. After getting word of more furries entering the town, she races over to their headquarters, fully blaring the sirens to alert every single member of the undead within miles. Then with pipe bombs and bullets, it was time to make these bastards pay. The things she did to that enclave can't be fully explained. It wasn't just about ending their lives, it was the manner of which she did so. Not only were they brutally slain, but their battered corpses were left to be lunch for the undead. The gang never did hear from the furries again. The running theory was because of fear, terrified how a single slender lady could rip through 6 highly trained furries. But for Evelyn, it was all too much. She gets back to base and stands down as their leader. It was mutually decided that Daniel would lead the team from here. His first act as leader was moving them into the Prescott fire station and begin the long and arduous task of getting the place in tip-top working order. Days turned to weeks. Weeks turn to months. The base continues to expand, eventually becoming a fortress. Farm, garden, shooting range, infirmary, power from the utility room, and even an auto shop. Maybe that will help to prevent so many bangonomics. Many negative curveballs continue to come and go, like a terrible variation of thick-skinned. That made zombie heads armoured while also being extremely resistant to melee attacks. The only reliable way of dealing with them was executions or fire. Gargantuan juggernauts get dealt with ease thanks to the Timberwolf we picked up earlier. Even Evelyn finds peace in becoming the group's protector against raiders. And when she's not spilling potentially innocent blood, she teaches herself how to cook. Being able to prepare feasts for the gang, morale rises to unfathomable levels. They even start to make profit on the daily supplies. For the most part, that is. But when you have something so good, it's only a matter of time until someone tries to take it from you. At first, they welcomed new people with open arms, although occasionally hard choices had to be made. And seeing as Ian really was a terrible mechanic, it was time for Exile to make room for better fitting community members.
To hell with you and this shithole.
Finally, tides start to turn as the groups we'd usually welcome in threaten us with violence, threatening to take our lives if we don't forfeit our fortress to them. But when you come for the crown, you better not miss. And you certainly better come better prepared than baseball bats and machetes. My shotgun downs all 3 of the bastards. And once we're down to the final hostile, the team band together to give the most over-the-top arse kicking of all time. The poor bastard didn't stand a chance. And what's mental is I searched the corpses, finding not just one fully loaded BML-40, but 2 fully loaded BML-40s. I've never even seen a hostile with that weapon, so 2 of them is freaking insane. Now we need to fight off a zombie siege triggered from the violence, and they've got the perfect weapon to help. You might think it overkill, but I say we used exactly the right amount of force. We were not just defending ourselves, but sending a message to all of them out there. If you want to take down the refuge, you better not fucking miss.